All the way to Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to Yes Massive Wagwan, Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent, and you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Jody, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, massive.
Bringing communities together around the world. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All day, every day.
Shaskia kikiingia ni kuklasi huko ngavado na chukua madam so anguka nao itabaki meflo na vibe anguka nao koko single for now daki smeja patikani hadi late night saa sita ndo tani wai nikupili location na kofana na hiyo katekoi niko chomba ya ji nina chomba itakuwa ilizo release acha nikushow kwanza form ya didon nishashika mpoa na pende chini kwa chini akiwa hadi na mimi sasa tunasikiza shit city tuna feel free take a video na post pale NGC jina ni Kantel Kurapsi ni talent G anguka nao check it anguka nao twende down low now stand up till you fit mikono juu alafu click uliza pesa alafu one leg anguka nao one leg anguka nao anguka nao anguka nao anguka nayo kama uko na new cut anguka nayo kuna pati na makosta anguka nayo round tu kwa hii pasta anguka nayo ati anguka nayo ati anguka nayo anguka nayo anguka nayo ati anguka nayo ati anguka nayo ati anguka nayo na katika msupa webanjuka cheza chini ukikondeza makuta anguka nayo katika mshaikika ndaki mkushiza wataki kama tali ni serikali tamka unajua ni nani tumetunga hapo tauni utakiwa kwa dili aha yeah beba anguka nao anguka nayo anguka nayo anguka nayo ati anguka nayo mtupa mefeel relax anguka nayo kama uko na new cut anguka nayo kama unapati na makosta anguka nayo ra mtu kwa hii basta ati anguka nayo anguka nayo anguka nayo anguka nayo anguka nayo kama uko na new cut anguka.
Yes, good afternoon, family. Karibuni sana. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Happy Monday and have a blessed week ahead of you guys. Karibuni sana to yet another beautiful discussion right here on the media of the 21st century. My name is Joby. To everyone listening to us for the first time, that is on YouTube, on TikTok, on our Twitter page, and also on Facebook, and also on our radio station and our show page, and on Rumble. We're live everywhere. Tuko kila mahali kama nzi. But I hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope your weekend was fun. Weekend was fantastic. Shout out to Senjo in the building. Shout out to everyone who's right there on TikTok with us. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Shout out to Ansanken one who's just tuning in on YouTube. Hope you're doing great. Hi to you too. Hope you had a beautiful weekend and hope you are ready for the week and what it has in store ahead of us. Karibuni, where we shall be taking and focusing our conversation for today to the UK and Rwanda. And we're going back to where we saw, of course, Rwanda and the UK, that is the United Kingdom, making a couple of deals that was last year, where there was supposed to be asylum seekers who were supposed to be going to Rwanda. But we saw a bunch of the few who did arrive there. We spoke about and been talking about the consequences of this and how effective this is going to be, especially to the East Africa community, and what we should do and the precautions we should actually take as African people. So we shall be focusing on the UK and Rwanda as our major conversation, where we see that the new UK Prime Minister has confirmed that the Rwanda deportation plan is already dead. So we shall see how dead is it? What is the scheme that they're going to be using next? Are they going to be taking more people there? Or is this plan officially just over and over? But karibuni sana once again. We shall also talk about what is happening in Kenya. Yesterday it was the Sabasaba movement. Do you remember every year the 7th of July, every year the 7th of July marks a history right here in the 254, and I'll be letting you know how yesterday this particular event or legacy did actually happen yesterday. We shall also discuss what is happening where there's a man who has been accused of witchcraft still in the 254 that is in Mombasa, and talk about it when you talk about Africa and being very aware of what witchcraft and what the real witchcraft really is. And also we shall be focusing on the West Africa, where we can see that the three juntas have completely turned their back, that is on the ECOWAS, and we shall be discussing and letting you know why and what is their decision on this. We shall also discuss about Sudan and their political, that is the Sudan political and civil society groups who are supposed to be meeting in a bid to end the war. And the question is this meeting going to be actually ending a war, or is this another way how they're looking forward to make it worse and worse? We've been discussing about the situation in Sudan. Of course, we've seen it has risen. It is so crazy. Nobody is helping. We see the UN giving us reports, but the same UN members or the UN peacekeepers are there raping, torturing women, and not even doing anything. I was having this slight discussion yesterday with some few friends. They were watching the documentary of the Sudan Forgotten Conflict, which is on BBC. And I was like, you guys, if only we can understand the terms very well, which I said again here, it may seem like a forgotten war, but it's not really forgotten because these people are there for a purpose. The war is not going on because there is nothing that they have interest in. If what it was a really forgotten war, it's only forgotten because the other mainstream medias are not covering it. Like we can see Palestine Gaza situation, but it's not a forgotten war because this war is going on purpose and for an interest of those funding the war. There's something they need. So personally, I still say and stick with the term, it's not a forgotten war. Despite the mainstream media not covering, we have them inside there monitoring every situation. This is why we have the UN embassy. This is why we have the UN not the UN embassy, but the UN peacekeepers. We have all these people keep on giving us information about the number of deaths, the number of aid required. They're the same people keeping watch on what is really happening and who's going to come and save Sudan. We shall also last but not least talk about also the Haiti gang leader who has called for the dialogue, that is as the Kenyan police who were seen last week taking a patrol, and the pictures of them taking a patrol made a lot of Kenyans actually react and laugh about it. They were like, I don't know if I should cry or laugh because we know these people are not really any safe there. And I also saw the MP of Haiti urging, that is President William Ruto last week, to add more troops into his country. So we're going to be, of course, updating you on much more what is happening also in that particular region and much more. Where I'll be sharing a video coming from Dr. Mombi and something we discovered last year on a show was done by Katie, where we saw that there was an article that came out telling us that we had a deal that was signed between 3 tribes that shall lead Kenya. We're talking about the Kikuyu, the Kalenjin, and the Kikuyu, the Kalenjin, actually 2 tribes, right? 2 tribes, not 3. 2 tribes, the Kikuyu, the Kalenjin, and apparently I pulled up an article on the side which discussed most of the tribes in Kenya that actually end up getting this civil society job or the civil public jobs, and we'll see how effective this is and why we have so many unemployed people. This is because of nepotism and tribalism going on in our country. Karibuni sana once again. Shout out to Mr. Blackout Fire. I bet you already walk. Shout out to Ronnie in the house. Thank you so much for tapping the screen and to have a live with us also on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Rumble, and on our show page. Karibuni sana. If this is the first time, I'd love to urge you to kindly subscribe, follow us on whatever platform you're streaming live with us from, and also download our app, which is very easy to find if you are an Android user. Just search for Blackout Fire Network on the Google Play Store. You'll find us right there. And of course, you'll be able to connect to all these other rest of the platforms without having any problem. You can also watch the shows later on our YouTube channel. That is, if you have the app, which directs you to all these platforms and to all the shows you might have missed. Once again, karibuni sana. I started with an amazing jam that was Anguka Nayo. It's the new latest banger in the 254, and I tell you, tunaanguka nayo. I love the dancing style. It's just super crazy. I love the hype of it. And also myself too. I'm feeling very, very hyped today. I feel very amazing. Hope you guys are also feeling amazing as I am, or even more better than I am. But of course, back to one more jam, a bit of it as we come back with the quote of the day, as we get started with the conversation of the day. Karibuni sana once again. This is Watenda Willy with Shumthum. Shout out to everyone who's following us on TikTok. Thank you so much for following the live creator. Yeah, you can share something positive in case you have any quote of the day. Don't hold back. Feel free to communicate and share something with me. Yes, karibuni sana once again. That is Watenda Willy. Check them out, manze. This is a group that I know and love that has an amazing sound, and they're doing amazing. We were making jokes right here with Iwaton before my show and saying it's crazy when a song has like million of views, but the artist has like few subscriptions. Come in, show love. Show love. Stop listening to music and you're not subscribing. Show love. And if you're here and you're tuned in for the first time and you've not subscribed, start by doing that first before we get to continue. But my quote of today is an African proverb, of course, and it says, "War is when the government tells you who the bad guy is." I've read this quote again, and I'm trying to read this especially with the current situation going on still in Africa. We've seen that was last week. Nigeria did say that they are coming out, of course, to also demonstrate from the 1st of August, if I'm not wrong. I think it's next month. I think from the 1st of August till the 8th of August, if I'm not wrong. They have planned their demonstration. And if you try check their article, if you guys have seen it, the way they have planned everything, it's so amazing. They're calling out on bad corruption. They're calling out on subsidies of fuel, that is oil. And we know Nigeria is very well blessed with oil. But for me, it has never made any sense why a country that produces oil has to be the one buying actually oil expensive. It is so crazy, and that is Nigerians' current situation. So they're calling out on bad leadership, corruption, subsidies of nothing, and all that, and much more of what they have planned. So if I get time, maybe during the week, I shall let you guys know on what is happening on the article. Maybe share it on WhatsApp so that you guys can see what's going on. But yes, my quote of the day, something I've shared before, says, "War is when the government tells you who the bad guy is. Revolution is when you decide that for yourself." And that is basically what we can see happening right now in Africa. We have decided to know and identify who the bad guy is. Like Ruto, I'm so happy for my people, Manze. I'm so happy and proud of Kenya and proud to be Kenyan right now, because yesterday it was again the Sabasaba. I want to share this very quickly. It was the Sabasaba movement or legacy, if you want to term it like that. And this is a movement that actually happened in the 1980s, early 1980s and early 1990s, where Kenya was a one-party state, and under the repressive administration of President Daniel Arap Moi, was the second president of Kenya. His party, the Kenya African Nation Union, KANU, held a monopoly on a political power, and the civil liberties were severely restricted, and the dissent was brutally suppressed. It was against this setting that leaders such as Kenneth Matiba, Charles Rubia, and Raila Odinga emerged as the key figures in the fight for democratic reforms. And the inaugural Sabasaba rally took place, that is 34 years ago today, which is yesterday, to the day in 1990. And at Nairobi Kamkunji's ground that was in town, and what began as a peaceful assembly quickly escalated into a full-blown confrontation with the government forces. The state's brutal, heavy-handed response, characterized by tear gas and arrest, only fueled the determination of protesters, like what we've witnessed for the past few days in Kenya also happening. And the bravery displayed by ordinary citizens in the face of the police brutality demonstrated unyielding desire for change. Just like the recent successful Kenyan demonstration against the IMF-backed taxes hike, which saw, despite Finance Bill 2024 withdrawn, the determination of the protesters back then forced the government to concede to demands for a change in the political system. In the same Sabasaba resolve that laid the groundwork for constitutional reforms for the early 2000s, and which culminated in the adoption of a new constitution that was done or amended in 2010. To Kenyans, Sabasaba is more than just a date. Every year, it has much to honor the sacrifices made by those who fought for democracy since the fateful day in the 1990s. This year, the 39 who lost their lives fighting the tax hikes with no doubt be high in people's minds as Kenyans continue to confront challenges such as corruption, economic inequality, government wastage, and neocolonialism. The spirit of Sabasaba still lives on. And that is so true. I agree. It still lives on because we can see how Kenyans are literally out there. Yesterday, it was the Memorial Day of the 39 people who died on the demonstrations since the beginning of the demonstration. I'd say for the past 1 month, because it's been like a month since the whole thing began. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks plus. This is the 4th week. And yesterday, Kenyans went to the Uhuru Park, one of the parks we have here. It was a free entry. And I want to share a quick video of just what happened yesterday and the turnout of the people. And I'm saying I'm so proud of my people. Why? Because despite everything, I tell you, despite Ruto sitting down on Twitter for a dialogue, despite him being kind, trying to be kind, despite him trying to act like the good guy, everything is being seen today. People are not tired. People are not tired chanting Ruto must go. And the agenda has been set. People are literally getting rid of bad leadership and bad corruption. But let me try share a video of the turnout of the people. It was so amazing. I really loved it. Shout out to everyone. Everyone had a flag representing, of course, the nation, and the fallen soldiers who died also holding the flag. And I just want to tell you the number was really, really amazing. And I hope the rest of the African countries feel really motivated. That is the term I'd use. I hope they feel motivated because this should motivate Africa. Whatever Kenya is doing, and which already is, this should be something amazing. Let me try share the video of what happened yesterday. I hope I'm going to get it correct. People are so many. Okay, I might or not. But yeah, people are so many. Let me try share this one. Shout out to Kay Williams. Shout out to Casuals Williams. Karibuni sana. Hope you guys had a beautiful weekend. And I'm wishing you guys a beautiful day and a beautiful week ahead of you guys. So this was the turnout of
Artificial, we all register as voters, and let's get home safely.
Okay, so yeah, the turnout of the people was so amazing. We had some few people who turned out there who betrayed us. Of course, during the demonstrations, they were being helped at. They were not wanted there. People did not need them there. Like, I just love the unity I see from my people right now. Is just so amazing. It's a spark that should bring you joy. Let me tell you, it's something that should bring you just joy when you see it happening. It is so exciting. But shout out to everyone live with us on TikTok. I see Tukona Mr. Black on Fire. Shout out to DJ Flani. Shout out to Malma Karibu Sana. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. DJ Flani says hello to you too. Thank you so much for the compliments. I also see you saying, why was that suit guy booed out on stage? That Kaskazini guy, remember, he was one among the people leading on the front line during the demonstration at the first few weeks, if you remember. Then he faked his abduction. That was why people are mad. Kaskazini actually pretended to have been hijacked or abducted when we had real abductions really happening. So it is crazy. It is crazy, and that's why people were mad. Hata mimi nilistuka nikisikia akisema when the information came out that he faked the whole abduction, I was like, God damn. The nerve on you. The nerve really in you, and people have put their faith in you, especially being the one leading this demonstration, being the one with the big mouths, you know. Now you're the one betraying people. So that's the reason why it was being helped at yesterday. And shout out to also Malma. Thank you so much for following the live creator. DJ Flan also says, that's funny. I didn't know. Yeah, it is funny and also stupid, because I don't understand why people don't understand people's power. I think that is what Ruto should, and what we should understand right now. People's power can destroy you, literally. If people get to unite and they want to get rid of you, they can. They can, and there's nothing you can stop that. They can. I'm a high believer of that. They can. And what we've seen from the beginning of this demonstration, it was not about, despite you being the one leading, it doesn't mean that you're the one presenting the whole nation here. You're just working together with the fellow citizens who are not tribal or anything, you know, to make a move or to make a message, to send a message to the one who we are sending the message to, who is President William Ruto. But sadly, what I'd say with this guy, he didn't understand, or he doesn't see, and especially him being a retired artist, you should understand people can hate and love you at the same time. You can be loved like this immediately, but you say something stupid, watu watachana na wewe tu immediately. And DJ Flag also says, emergency wako intelligent. You've had the Otero story, betrayal. Yeah, goddamn. you interchange my story. Uta change topic, and you'll change my topic of the day, because people on YouTube cannot understand everything. But yeah, Otero is just another case. I heard he went on Twitter live when he was super drunk. He was being called. He was the one among the people who paid 2 million to hold, to be able to invite Ruto on the space, because Ruto's account had some situations or something before he went live. So yeah, people are mad at Otero because he was one paid by the president 2 million, they are saying, and that is the reason why he was the leader of Twitter Space on Friday. So people are mad at him. And the last comment I also see you saying, Gen Z intelligence department unmasked Otero alilipwa na government, and he was greeted. Wow, why? I didn't know that already. I didn't know that. That is something new from you. I didn't know he was already greeted. Walim salimia, as you should. But they told him. He was warned, if you come, we should not see you on the streets. You're gonna get some beatings. He was warned, because I was listening to that Twitter Space, Juicy. He was drunk as crazy. But anyway, family, as we get to move on with the conversation of the day, I want to start, of course, with what is happening in my very own country. I had to talk about the Sabasaba situation, and I'm glad to see, unlike for the past few years, I think since 2021, the 2021 Sabasaba legacy or memorial was not really nice, because there was a lot of tear gas. I remember I came to work that day with people are not at town. There was tear gas. People were just, it was chaotic. But I'm proud to see that this year's Sabasaba memorial is actually being celebrated in the right moment, at the right time, and relatable with the situation of what is happening in our country. So I wanted to start with that. But as we get to move on, I want to talk about, of course, this man was being killed in Kilifi County, that is Mombasa, the coastal region, and that is after he was accused of witchcraft. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because for so long, I've not seen this. This is not the first case I'm seeing about this. I've seen so many situations of where so many African people lose their lives because of that belief and us not understanding the spiritual science or the African spirituality. Let me call it like that, okay? We don't understand that we still have people who they may not really have maybe so much power, but we still have people who are connected to the universe, to the mother universe, or to nature itself, if that is the right term I'm using, and they can actually do some magical things. And this for so long, of course, has been considered as witchcraft. Shout out to the white man for doing that, which is working super amazing and taking lives. So BBC Africa Eye is investigating a shocking spate of an elderly person accused of witchcraft, then murdered along Kilifi coast, that is in Kenya, and discovers that the true motives behind the killings. 74-year-old Tambala Jeffwa stares vacantly out of his one remaining eye as his wife Sidi gently removes his shirt. They stabbed him with a knife like this and pulled it out, and she takes his lead in her hands, showing what happened in another attack, and they had to pull the scarf back and sew it together. God damn. Sew it together. Mr. Jafar was accused of being a witch and has been attacked twice in his home, 80 kilometers, which is 50 miles inland from the coastal town of Malindi. The first left him without an eye, and the second nearly killed him. The couple now more than 30 acres of a land where they grow maize and raise a few chickens. There has been a dispute with family members over boundaries, and they believe this was the reason Mr. Jeffer was almost killed, and not the people genuinely believe that he was a witch. So the couple, they also say that I was left dead and I lost so much blood. I don't know why they attacked me. It can only be the land. And basically you can see what this is leading to. That it is the family trying to push this to the people, but the family has a problem. But again, I'm not even focusing about the family. It's the fact that I've seen so many people, especially in Nigeria. I may not report these cases, but in Nigeria, you'll never lack a case, maybe once a year or twice, of someone killing someone because of believing in witchcraft. I want us to take us back just
Damn, Joey, why we gotta share this thing?
Karibu sana.
Asante Sana, Joey. Why we gotta share this ignorant ass shit right here?
We gotta share it because African people do not, or we've lost so many people, Keith, because of this kind of situations and that ignorance. If you don't talk about it, that ignorance. If you don't talk about it, is the main reason why we lose lives. It was just last year I reported of two brothers. A brother in Nigeria who killed his younger one.
Take it down the bullet.
Exactly, because of believing on witchcraft, it can help you dodge a real bullet. And he ended up killing his brother. But on this other end, we've also had true African scientists, or those people still who are tapped into the African spirituality. Let me say,
the people that's still spiritual, not gave into Christianity or Islam. Yeah, so now they're considered witches. But you can't do nothing like that until you educate the other Africans. You can't do nothing to save them until you raised the intellect of African people.
You can't, but what should happen, I think, for me, my thoughts, and the reason why I'm sharing this is, number one, because of again, you call it ignorance. African people are ignorant, and you'd be killed outside there because someone believes some bullshit, You'd be killed outside there very easily by your fellow people because they believe on something that they do not even have facts about. And this is some of the situations, because I've seen this especially from Ukambani, where my mom is born, in our village. These situations happen a lot, because they claim, apparently in Kenya, they say, Wakamba, we have, or the Kamba people, Kamba related people are full of witchcraft, which is not true, which is not true. If you try,
No,
if you
not,
try,
it's not. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not witchcraft. It's
It's
African
not.
spirituality.
Exactly. It is so sad to see that these situations always happen, and I want to bring it to light so to the people themselves, because I believe you might not be well educated as a witchcrafter, the way they're calling you, or the witch. You may not be well educated, but you should understand the kind of supernatural powers you have and keep away from these ignorant people. Because that is what I think, the same thing you've taught me about the shamans, if I'm not wrong. These people are
Yeah.
not really easily
No.
found today in Africa
No.
because
Shamans.
to hide.
No. No. They said they know most Africans are morons now,
Mhm.
so they just went undercover. They just a shaman might be next to you on the matatu. You don't know. Keep his mouth shut. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. Because
okay.
they said you're too stupid now. You've been made ignorant, so they're not going. Yeah. So that's why you get the CIA was in there looking for the shamans. Hey, you know any shamans, little black girl? Nah, I don't know no damn shamans. Get out of here.
It's crazy. Shout out to Male23 on Instagram. Shout out to Big Dog. Karibu Sana. Hope you're doing great. And to everyone joining in. So it is sad to see that this keeps on happening in Africa, but I believe that is what these people should do who have those supernatural powers. Keep away from these ignorant people. You have your supernatural powers. Help your family, help your children if possible. Okay, pass this
That's
knowledge
right.
and to your children so that they can be able to help themselves, because it's nothing to do, it's all about helping people. It's sad to see that this comes and people see it from a selfish point of view. It is so crazy. It is so crazy, because I don't know how else to explain it. But moving on to the next conversation is about Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. For the past months, and that was at the end of last year, we saw ECOWAS begging so hard for these juntas to come back to their bloc, and we saw Tinubu, of course, writing a letter, even tried to have talks with them, but it was impossible. And
Said no. You keep your European. You keep the
Mhm.
European fake ass block, and they tried to even to a rape. Well, God damn, his speeches have been so damn honest. He had a speech last Friday or something, so honest. He said these people came here raping and killing us and calling us poor as they steal everything out of our country. We're not
Exactly.
poor, we're rich. We've never
Mhm.
been poor. Our
Mhm.
countries have always been wealthy. These
Mhm.
people came in with lies and deceit and have raped and pillaged our ass. We're poor, but they won't leave. Why don't they leave? So why
Mhm.
won't they leave if we're so poor?
Mhm. It is sad.
Good
I saw,
joke.
I think the video for me, I saw it was on TikTok when he was talking about the mainstream media, how they have been manipulating information to
Yeah.
favor them. And he was trying to educate people of his country, trying to let him know why he's getting rid of this. I love the way he's very, very dedicated to even explaining situations,
To the
before
people.
he
Exactly.
does them or after doing them. It's not like Ruto, Ruto wants to sign deal, or all any of these puppets. That's what they do. They don't engage
Exactly.
the people first,
He's
which is very
exactly,
important.
Joe. He's honestly trying to gauge these people so they'll understand what's the purpose of making this decision. Not a puppet.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So they're saying that the Niger's military leaders, speaking alongside the junta chiefs from Mali and Burkina Faso, are saying that they are irrevocably turning their backs on the wider Western African bloc, that is ECOWAS. And the three men are meeting together for the first time to cement an alliance created in defense of opposition from neighboring countries. Soldiers took power in Mali, that is in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger in a series of coups from 2020 to 2023. All the countries which now from the alliance Sahel state have been affected by jihadists, in part a reason given for the army takeovers. And they also add that in January they all announced a plan to leave ECOWAS, which is holding its own summit. That was yesterday. And speaking at a Saturday's meeting in the Nigerian capital, Niamey, the country's leader, General Abromai Chiani, said that in in the place of ECOWAS, the junta chiefs wanted to build a community of sovereign people far from the control of foreign powers, a community of peace, solidarity, prosperity based on our African values. And General Chiani also added that he's hosting the talks with the Burkina Faso junta, that is Ibrahim Traoré, and Mali's junta Assim Goïta. Their names are always, I find like the Nigerians junta's name and the Malian name are really hard to pronounce. I kind of can pronounce Ibrahim Traoré. Is the one you'll always find me mentioning, and I'll just say Mali and Niger. But in a message that was written on Twitter, the Burkinabe leader said that together we will consolidate the foundations of our true independency. Speaking at the summit, Traoré also went to say that this continent has suffered and continues to suffer from the fire of the imperialists. And this
the white man.
These imperialists have clinched in mind Africa is the empire of slaves, and the security cooperation is high on the agenda, but the alliance known by its French acronym, that is the Alliance Sahel State. I don't know why they had to write it like that. We'll also look towards forming closer economic ties, including the aim of creating common currency, and this would be a rejection of the France-backed CF franc, which is used in many.
Take your own currency. No time. You grow up as an adult. Be finally men. Take back your own currency.
Exactly. All the three countries have also expelled, that is the French soldiers who are there as part of the anti-jihadist mission, and turned towards Russia for military assistance. Call for greater sovereignty and a rejection of former colonial power have been a key part of the rhetoric coming of the junta's leader. And the countries have also restricted calls from ECOWAS for a rapid return to civil rule. I'm so proud and happy about these three countries, man. Take me to Burkina Faso right now. I'm going to be doing shows there. You know, this is just so amazing. But I'm also happy because Kenya is also trying to make a change. I mean, it is so exciting. Yesterday, seeing the videos of yesterday when people were on the ground on the Memorial Day of
they said Ruto must go. Yeah, they were doing music and they said Ruto must go. You see them take over that church too, didn't you?
I just saw they went to a church, the biggest church in Kenya. That was yesterday.
Yeah, the basilica. Yeah, basilica. They took it over. They said Ruto must go. That's right. Took that shit over.
I'm so happy of my people, man. So if there's any country that right now I'm gonna stay, I love the fact that whatever is happening in Kenya, but you can take me to Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. South Africans, I'm gonna keep off them for a while. You know, I'm going to Nigeria with my husband because they're starting to wake up. You know, Nigerians finally are starting to understand. Hey, Tinubu is just an old installed person who is just dealing with corruption. I love the fact that in their planned program of demonstration, the first thing they called out, which was the first thing Tinubu did, is subsidized fuel. So that we're calling out on this subsidization of bullshit. You know, we need things to go back to the normal price. Everything must go down to the normal price. Come on, because I mean, how do you produce oil but you literally buy the expensive? You are the one buying.
They don't own it. They don't own it. They're like every African puppet. They go and the white man comes in, steals your shit, give you a little bit of money, make you rich while your other people suffer. They don't care. It's the whole scam. It's African wide. White man's got control of all your resources. He gives you a little bit, and the rest of people stay in poverty because you don't give a shit. You ain't built no real schools. You ain't built no hospitals. All that money come out of Africa. Trillions of dollars stolen. Trillions.
But as we get to move on to the next conversation is about Sudan, which, of course,
they want to break it up. Remember, Sudan is those wars are created by the West, and you wanted to be Arabs, they created also by your fucking white Arab motherfuckers who are in league with the white people because they're white. The whole thing was to take. They already broke it up one time, make South Sudan and South Sudan. They want to break it up some more. Yep. Break it up over easier control. So They're trying to break out the west of the country and the east.
Do you think
But
they're going to manage to do it, like, and
I don't
create?
know. I don't know because Sudan has like most Africa, they have an identity crisis. Them niggas thought they were Arabs and shit. So they lined themselves with the white Arabs who trying to help the white man break them up. Africans have a problem with identity, Joby. They don't know who the fuck they are. They don't never identify with African. Being African. They never identify with they always hate being African. I'm going to be a white Christian, a white Muslim. They want to be fucking African. That's what these people are getting killed in Africa for practicing African spirituality. They get killed for being African. So the African doesn't know how to be a fucking African. He's ashamed of being a goddamn African. So that's allowing them to come in and destabilize Sudan. They don't know what the fuck they are. Remember, the only reason why you got Sudan, Joby, and South Sudan is because the Northerners were practicing racism on the South Sudanese. Now, because they were darker. You guys are real Africans. You're too dark, nigga. You're the niggers. We're the Arabs. So they would split the country over that when they're both African.
So yesterday, I think at the beginning of the show, yesterday I went to a friend's house and I found them watching The Forgotten War of Sudan. That is the documentary released by BBC. And I was like, I immediately told them, like, hey, are you watching the so documentary? They were like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure this is really a forgotten war? Because we get information about this country every single day. As much as we don't see the mainstream media actively there, like, reporting like the way we see the Palestine-Gaza situation.
When they say forgotten war, that means it's not getting as much coverage.
Exactly. It's not getting so much attention, but it's not forgotten because this war is going on because there's interest in that country that they need.
Of course, there's money. The wealth, like every African country has oil and diamonds and shit that crackers want. It's steel. Of course, it's rich of oil and diamonds. And the white man want it. So he's going to try to break up the country and make 3 or 4 puppets. They can control them and get all the resources and keep the Africans impoverished. That's everywhere they go, Joby. It's the same shit. Rob, steal, pillage, kill, rape. They have not changed. Our democracy and our civilization. What civilization? Everywhere they go. Rob, steal, kill, rape, steal. Pillage. Everywhere they go.
It's crazy. But what they're saying about Sudan situation, they're saying that Sudanese political and civil society groups did meet on Saturday in Egypt to discuss ways to end war engulfing Sudan. And the warring parties, however, didn't take part in the Egypt-sponsored conference. Sudan descended into chaos in April last year when simmering tensions between the country's military and the notorious paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces, exploded into open fighting in the capital, Khartoum, and elsewhere in the country. The devastating conflict has killed more than 14,000 people and wounded.
Who's funding the rebels, Joby? How'd the rebels get goddamn weapons?
It's them. Yeah. Because that's the question I posed to my friend yesterday, and I was asking them. So he's a lawyer, and I was like, yo, bro, you are a lawyer, and if you want to handle this case, you're gonna go, of course. First, number one, you need to have evidence of everything. And the number one evidence I'm gonna give you if you are going to do this investigation is check how many organizations have been formed, number one, to help Sudan. Okay, in terms of aid, okay, money. How many organizations, if you follow, actually, the whole world will find there are so many different groups created. This money is supposed to go to Sudan, but does it ever get there? Because we discussed and seen the same situation in DRC Congo. They claim a number of these people are suffering because they cannot access food, cannot access this. But we have groups that have been created and people are funding money. So where's the money?
Yeah, that is my question. The fake NGOs. NGOs is a cover scheme.
Exactly.
The white man can do that while he's stealing. Oh, look, we got aid coming in. What aid? Don't ever think the white man never giving you no fucking aid from the trillions of dollars he's stealing from your ass. Aid. I gave you $5 billion in aid. Motherfucker, you stole $1 trillion. Think about your $5 billion in your fake aid. That's a scam they do. What aid? They ain't aid you with shit, aid you out your shit, but Hey, we got this aid. What aid?
It is crazy, man. The system of Africa and education itself need to be changed because I
Of
remember I've
course.
told you guys that I had an uncle who was married to, okay, we had a man who was married to my auntie and he was working in Sudan. And this guy
Yeah,
had
you should.
lots of money because he made this woman bleach thinking that she's gonna maintain that. So what happened is that I used to ask
Wow.
myself, like, because used to hear every time people say Sudan has money, Sudanese have money, Sudanese people, and truly if you check people Sudanese living in Kenya, these people are living like high-end type of lives. You not see any Sudanese living in slums. I've never seen a Sudanese living in slums. These people are living the, I'd say, average kind of life. But
Okay.
the question to ask myself, and because we lack this in the system of education, is where's the money coming from? Because number one, you're not taught about the resources, right? I've spoken about that last week, where
They got gold. They got Sudan is rich in gold, oil, diamonds. Same thing the white man steals. It's a very wealthy resource country, like most African countries.
yeah,
Rich in
so
resource.
I didn't know specifically. I wish right now I can follow up the details and know, but I didn't know what my uncle was doing there. I don't know if he was a soldier or what he was doing because I could
Uh,
hear he could come, then just disappear. Yeah, there's a conflict where there he is. There's a like conflict, so you don't follow up much because again, this is the way Africa, the system of education is. You're supposed to focus on what is happening in your country, unless maybe you're interested. Go do much research about the other countries, or unless the mainstream
that's a,
media brings
that's on
tell
purpose. See, that's on purpose. That's to keep you. It's called to keep you. Carpet. Hold on. Damn shit in my throat. Keeps you. When you're. Damn, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, compartmentalized. Keeps you compartmentalized, but you don't know what's going on. That's on purpose. See, they keep you focused on this, so you don't know that all of Africa functions the same way. People stealing and shit. You haven't realized it's the same way. Every country that the white man is stealing and robbing from you. That's the reason why you're poor. So you are focused on just your goddamn. You're thinking just your own corrupt. You know your leaders are corrupt, but you know all African leaders are corrupt. All African leaders are sponsored by white people who put them in power to steal and rob from you. So, or to steal and rob and break up the country because they want to make it easy for them to steal and rob. When you got to unify people, it's hard to steal and rob from them. So you want to break them up. You want to, that's why they introduce so much tribalism. They want to divide and conquer.
Hi, Hendrik. You ran away from our last conversation. How you doing, brother? Welcome. You ran away from our conversation last week. Come on, Karibu sana. Hope you're doing amazing. But I just made my mind made a very quick joke, and I remember when the Sudanese used to beat me so much. Like I didn't understand why these people just used to bully me. Like I didn't understand, but now coming to think about it, these people have grown
They,
up in a country full of war. Somehow, you know, why are you always beating me? Am I the only small child right here? Knocking my
con-
head every time.
conflict zone. So yeah, they probably was always angry. They coming for conflict. Yeah.
Like I didn't understand. Trust me, because this shout out to her, and wherever she was called a moko. She used to really hate me for no reason. Anytime I'm like, she'll just start threatening me. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'll start apologizing for something I've not even done. I'm so sorry, but it's crazy. Shout out to Hendrik. He says hello. I'm fine. He says that guy. This guy, you say this guy talks a lot and he makes the radio like his own podcast. It is his own podcast. What you talking about? It is his own radio station. What you expect? I also talk too much. I think you'd get
I,
mad at me.
I apologize, Hendrik. I apologize for breaking your back.
All love, Hendrik. All love. But as I get to move on, I want to share this video coming from Dr. Mumbi. And this reminded me of, I bumped into this, that was last night before I slept on TikTok. Dr. Mumbi was talking about the three tribes in Kenya that might have signed a deal during the Jomo Kenyatta's time.
Yeah,
That is on
okay.
you. And you remember Katie did speak about this. That was, I think,
Yeah.
last year.
No. When she talked about that, was the funny part about it. That was 2 years ago. Katie brought that up. You know why? The only reason why I know is because I was in New Mexico and I'm headed back to New Mexico today. So I was like, that's why I know. Last time I was in New Mexico when Katie was talking about that shit. That was 2 years ago. And I'm headed back to New Mexico today. Go ahead.
Nice. After 2 years, that's nice. Must be a good, trying to go back some places you've not been in a while.
Nah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised they sent me back out here. Yeah, I'm like, I ain't been to Mexico in 2 years. Why y'all sending me now? Well, Keith, we know you don't want to go all the way out there. I don't mind go out there. You give me more money, shit. give me some more goddamn money. You ain't give me no more goddamn money. I don't want to go nowhere, shit.
Add the paycheck.
So the white man don't never want to give you no more damn money, shit. What you do all kind of shit. Go ahead, Joe.
Add the paycheck. So this video here, let me share as I get to read an article that I also saw doing my research on that.
This is for entertainment purposes only. Family, look at this.
Just a minute.
What if this was some kind of covenant?
Okay.
This is for entertainment purposes only. Family.
The video is so low.
What if this was some kind of covenant that these four guys had? And because Jomo was a magician and he understood what the Mzungus wanted and he made a pact with them, he made a deal with them.
She was talking crazy. Jomo was not a magician. What are you talking about? You say crazy because Jomo was a magician. That was a corrupt, no good bastard. He wasn't a damn magician.
For TikTok purposes, kid. For TikTok purposes.
No, she says entertainment purposes, but he was a magician. He wasn't no damn. He wasn't no damn. She tried to say he was a witch. She's saying Jomo was a witch. That's what a magician is. A witch. Jomo wasn't no witch. He just was corrupt.
I think she's just gonna be sarcastic or something.
Forever.
Okay.
Before we gained independence and told them, don't worry, you guys will be fine, as long as he had his kingdom. What if?
Exactly. He told him you'll be fine as long as you allow me. They said exactly. Jomo did say if as long as I get money, I'll sell out the rest of Kenya. That's true. He did say that. As long as you make me rich, I'll sell out the rest of these niggas. Fuck them.
And because when Moi gave over Kanu to Uhunye,
shout out to you, Tycoon Tony, and I am Tony Cozy on Instagram.
A lot of people said he was fulfilling an ancient deal that he had made with Jomo when he became president. And you know what? I don't even think Moi was an accident.
It was not.
I don't think Moi was an accident. And I'm actually, the way these Mzungus operate, I'm even starting to think that even this coup that happened in 82, what if it had a foreign hand to make him harden his heart against us? The only thing they said is that at least he kept our minerals from being exploited while he was president, whatever. So what if all of this was a plan? What if this was a covenant? And the covenant now is broken because Nabi is not here. So this was the covenant we've been under. And the covenant we've been under is now broken because Uhunye is no longer president. Like it ended when Nabi took over. Because to be honest, family, I felt Nabi was chosen, but what if he was chosen to dismantle the system? Because all things are working for our good. But I actually think this was a covenant from the day we gained independence. And it was all supposed to come back to Kenyatta's kingdom.
Well, we leave it at that as I read this article of the deal and the secret papers that were signed between the British system and Jomo Kenyatta. That is after Kenya gained its independence. And you can see from that picture, like she started saying, we have all the first four presidents of Kenya were in that same picture, where Uhuru Kenyatta is the younger one. We have the second president who's standing, the third president who is Mwai Kibaki on the side, and Uhuru Kenyatta there seated. He was young.
As a child, as a baby.
Exactly. So, according to whatever Katie was sharing 2 years ago, she spoke about there was a deal that was signed between the I think two tribes. I'm not sure if it's two or three tribes, right? We had Kikuyu and the
Go in the camera.
Mhm,
Kalenjin.
Kalenjin. We had the Kikuyu and the Kalenjin. And let me try read this article right here. I was trying to see where this article was saying that the Kikuyu, the Kalenjin, and the Kikuyu, Kalenjin, Luo, and Luya dominate top jobs in civil service. That is in Kenya today. They dominate the top jobs. When if I look at number one, we have the two groups of who are claimed to be the oath that was, made of them leading the country. Luo, which is the opposition leader, always distracting the nation because that is his job, to distract the country, nothing else, never fighting for the people, never did anything for the people. The Luya, I wonder where they stand because, I mean, we do have so many Luyas also in political seats, especially the MPs and most of these people. But they're saying that 4 ethnic communities in Kenya have dominated the top job in civil service, according to the report sent to Parliament. And that the report of Public Service CS Margaret Kobai shows that the Kikuyus hold 120 of the 416 senior positions in the government. That is a big number. They are followed by the Kalenjins with 45 positions, Luo 41, and the Luya 33, the Kamba 27, Meru 27, and Kisii 22. Others are the Masai, which is 19, Mijikenda 10, Taita 8, Turkana 7, Boran 7, and Embu 6. And the rest are the Kenyan Asian. The Kenyan Asian. We have one. We have
That's the Indians.
we have the
Kenyan
one.
Asian.
Mhm.
That's not crazy. That's out Kenyan Asians.
Mhm. We have the Dojia, who is one. We have Kenyan Arabs, 2, Kuria, 3, Mbere. There's so many. But the CS, however, notes that a comparative analysis of the total numbers of top managers across the government is comparison with the 2019 census, showing that all countries are presented. The government endeavors to adhere the policy in general. Number one, that is, I don't want to read the whole thing and what it is all about. There is a lot of nepotism and biasness in the system. That is one thing we've known for sure. So I'm not shocked by this. But if you
Yeah,
try to look at the people who have
that's
the bigger
all.
number,
That's all African systems. Yes, all
yeah,
Africa.
the people who have the bigger number is the top two, where we have the Kikuyu
And
and
then
the Kalenjins.
Kalenjin.
And those we can see that from the other the released article that these two countries these two tribes are the ones supposed to lead Kenya. That makes a whole lot of sense. Where there's
Like,
favorism, you
it's
know.
like the two tribes. It's like the two tribes of Nigeria. It's
Mhm,
the tribes that rule out Nigeria are going to be the Hausa and the Yoruba. All the
mhm.
other tribes go to hell. That's right.
Yep. Shout out to the Deputy Governor, Karibu Sana. Hope you're doing amazing. And yes, hope you're doing amazing. So this article right here also speaks about the fresh evidence pieced together to confirm Jomo Kenyatta's position. So they're saying that an evidence pieced together by the Sunday Nation confirms widespread speculation that Kenya first President Jomo Kenyatta entered a secret pact with the British governor not
Of course.
to interfere with the skilled land distribution at independence.
Exactly. Don't try to get the white man's land that he stole from you, because we're gonna make you the head nigga. You'll be happy. You're gonna be the head nigga in charge.
Mhm.
But don't try to get the land back, or we might get rid of you as the as the founding puppet.
Mhm. In return, the British would clear his way as independent Kenyan's first leader, something
Exactly.
that
See,
had
they
looked
cleared. Exactly. They cleared his way to be the king. I mean, the president. He was a puppet. Go ahead, Joe.
something that had looked impossible only 3 years of freedom. Kenyatta would later extract a similar pledge from his successor, former President Daniel Arap Moi, and that the information is contained in the secret papers of the late Sir Michael Bundle, the white settler leader who acted as the liaison between Kenyatta and the British government in sealing this particular deal. In its it is corroborated. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
corroborated
cooperated.
corroborated in the secret notes of Kenya's second vice president, the late Joseph Murubi, deposited at the Kenya National Archives. And the land question haunts the country to this day, an entire
Good.
generation after Kenyatta's death.
Every time, Joby, the white man doesn't want to give us land, he stole, whether he's in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia, Zambia. He never wants to get a land that he stole because that's the wealth. And so we'll let your puppet ass be the president, give you some money, but we don't want you to talk about taking your land back.
We want our land back. Ruto must go.
Yeah.
Ruto must go. All these selected people must go. Earlier this year, the country was engulfed in the worst incident of the bloodshed, displacement, and destruction of property since independence. Let me see. Early last year, that was in 2000. This is an article of. It was an article of 2000, and it was updated in 2020. So yeah. They're saying that early this year, the country was engulfed in the worst incident of bloodshed. That was 2000, of course, you can see after the 2007 election. Yeah, that is basically where this is coming from. And though the excuses for it was the dispute results of 2007 election, many agreed the underlying tinderbox was the historic dispute, especially on the land issue. And though the background to the secret is a memo bundle wrote to then Kenya colonial governor Malcolm MacDonald on the possible leader of independent Kenya after it was decided the country must be granted freedom in the 1960s. That is early. Bundle zeroed in on four men, Tom Mboya, who Bundled described as a robust trade unionist and political schemer who had a deep pocket thanks to his American friends. And the second one was demagogic Odinga, who held a great charm with the rural African folks and who had a rural African folk okay, let me read that again. I don't know, I'm confusing. The second one was the demagogic Odinga, who held a great charm with the rural African folks, but was clearly in the payroll of the sovereigns. And the Ronald Ngala, who was the third one, was the third man whom Bundle described as an eccentric coastal preferred by the settlers and supported by the small ethnic communities, but who could not muster enough numbers to hold the new country together. The last possibility, wrote Bundle, was Jomo Kenyatta, who described as the wild card of native politics in the colony. And then if you check actually among the four, of course, Jomo Kenyatta was the one who was picked. Oginga Odinga, that is the father to Raila Odinga, became the opposition leader, which of course we can see being success by the son. Ronald Ngala, I'm not sure about his history. Tom Mboya, I shared this video last week here when he was talking about how we should
remember. And remember how white people always set up a puppet. Then they start making a false history around you. And so they'll teach your children, oh, Jomo was a great leader. Same way they did with that Nelson Mandela shit. They didn't get the land Nelson. They'll make up a fake hero worship of these puppets, which is a lie. Go ahead.
So we saw Tom Mboya, who I shared also his video that was last week on one of the shows. He's one among the people who actually valued Pan-Africanism, and that's why he was killed. And they're saying that he went on to say that given Kenyatta's exalted status as a freedom fighter arising from the Kapenguria trial, he will be the greatest platform to unite the new country, but only if he could personally give assurance that he had abandoned the extremist anti-white views he held before his imprisonment. The colonial secretary said it was particularly important that Kenyatta's position be known as the question of the white settlers in colonial Kenya and what economic policies he would adopt in the event he became the first leader of the independent nation. He suggested, that Sir Michael Bundle be assigned the job of assessing the possibility of working with Kenyatta. Bundle was immediately dispatched to Lodwar, where Kenyatta was held. After the couple After a couple of secret meetings and where Bundle reported positive progress, Kenyatta was relocated to, in the words of Bundle, a decent home in Maramaral, where he would be with his family, have a library, and once...
Yeah, they gave him a nice home with a library. Here you go, nigga.
Oh my God. And once in a while, take a glass of his favorite wine. Okay?
Yeah. That's how you make a puppet. That's how you get another puppet, Joby.
It's crazy. Shout out to Mzales. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing amazing. Hi to you too.
And then you tell the babies later on, he was a freedom fighter. Jomo's the father. That's all a lie. They was picking him because they had 4 people to choose from. He was the best puppet they could get, Joby. See, all the story, all the lies, he fought for freedom, for Kenya. That's all cap, all made up.
It's a lie. He minded about his glass of wine. You other niggas can kick rocks and go find a guy.
That's right.
I'm here eating steak and everything I need. Because the white man said so. I don't care about you eating kales or spinach. Come on. Crazy. Further saying that he noted that an earlier assertion by his predecessor, Governor Patrick Renshon, the Kenyatta was a leader unto death and darkness. And darkness was based on failure to talk to Kenyatta and gossip by a few paranoid white settlers. The secret agreement was that the Kenyatta made a secret agreement with Bundle comes out early in the notes of former Vice President Murubi. He relates an incident in London a few months of Kenya independence during the final Lancaster House constitutional talks. During one of the discussion at the plenary, Kenyatta had made a blistering attack on the departing colonialists and indicated that their place in independent Kenya would very much depend on their readiness to admit liability on past mistakes and be ready to work with the African government in effecting immediate reforms. Murubi recons that while Kenyatta's statement went down well with radical Africans, the whites saw red in what was a clear indication that the fire-spitting Kenyatta of the early years had not disappeared. Okay, on the very night, Bundle who was a delegate at the conference, asked Kenyatta out for a secret consultation. Murubi and Binyu Koinange, Kenyatta's lifelong confidant, accompanied the letter to the meeting. Murubi records that Bundle went straight to the point. And he told Kenyatta that the British Prime Minister, as well as the colonial governor in Nairobi, had taken great exceptions to his remarks at the Lancaster talks and considered it a complete about turn from what they had agreed to a Lodwar. To Lodwar and Mamarol. That is the first whom he was given. And he said that much as he appreciated the Kenyatta had to talk to appease his supporters who did not want to hear about any compromise with the whites.
Exactly. All he was doing is cosplay. He was saying, "Yeah, we're gonna make the white people leave. You're getting your ass out of the country. You thieving ass bastards. You sellers going." That was there. He was doing to appease his crowd, even though he was going to double cross the African and let the white man stay and have his land. He was just doing that, like they said, as cosplay. Yeah, we're going to teach you crackers a lesson. You came and stole our land. You stole Kenya from us. That was all bullshit.
And he goes, freedom fighter, my foot. What was this? A freedom fighter. Change that system of education, I beg. He said that much as appreciated that Kenyatta had to talk tough to appease his supporters who did not want anything about compromising with the whites.
Why would we compromise, Joby? The Mama won the war. We got our country, we got land. We're not supposed to be compromising. That's our shit. Get your ass out of here and go back to England.
he's sipping his best wine. Come on.
That's right. That's right.
And he has a library.
He put a shamani on us, sipping his best wine.
He has a library, god damn it.
That's right. And a library, Joey. Shit. I got a library, niggas. You know. That's right.
I'm reading information that I have no clue about, but I'm
That's right.
You're reading about your own country. What are you reading, god damn?
Oh shit, I love it.
It's crazy.
Tell your country tell your people your country for some wine in the library. That's right. They gave me a house with a library. So there.
That is so deep. How do you give acres of land where you can literally plant berries and make your own wine if you really want it?
How about that, Joey? Because the short-sighted, corrupt puppets. He didn't give a fuck as long as it's the big man. As long as he got a little bit of shit. Got my big house, got my wine in my library. They gonna make me president. Fuck the rest of these other niggas.
It's insane. But they say that any hardline position could only elicit, if I'm right. Yeah, any hardline position could only elicit the same reaction from the other groups, and that could lead to stalemate.
A stalemate.
Yeah.
They were gonna say the white people wasn't gonna agree to no one who was talking about getting rid of their ass. They weren't gonna agree to being president. They don't have to agree. You already won the war. Fuck what they think. Africa always feel like they got it. After you won a war, same thing like Zimbabwe. Took 20 years to get their land. After you win a war, you set the terms, not the white man. You do. You won. You're not setting no terms with me. These are the terms. Get the fuck out.
Period.
Yeah.
So on the last article of it, they say after a long reflection, notes Murumbi, Kenyatta said that he had not negated the agreement made with the bundle at Lodwar and Mararal, but explained that he had been provoked by white speakers and their African supporters at Lancaster, who were talking as if they did not accept that black people would be the ones to decide the destiny of the country after independence. A hint of the exact content of the secret pact reached between Kenyatta and the colonialists can be glimpsed from Murumbi's notes on a meeting held between him, Kenyatta, Oginga Odinga, and Muyua Wayaki on August 16th, that is in 1964, after independence, regarding the growing agitation over the land question a year after independence. The three particularly sought Kenyatta position on the distribution of 10 million acres of arable land occupied by white settlers. Kenyatta writes Murubi and told the
10 million acres, these crackers, just that stole 10 million of arable land. It's stealing all kind of shit. Go ahead.
They're still stealing, you know. Kenyatta writes Murubi and told the three that his hands were tied as he had committed himself to the white settlers.
His hands were tied so the white people get to keep the land they stole. All the tea farms, all the multi-millions of dollars of money, they get to keep. But he knew his people were not educated enough to get rid of his ass. He just was happy. Oh, we're free. No, you're not free.
Man, if Kenyatta was around, we should go to him and Kenyatta must die.
That's right. That's right.
I do. How do you give resources for a piece of wine library? Like you're giving literally everything.
Joby, you're talking about ignorant puppet who wanted to be the big man. I'm the president with a house. And the funny part about it, as Jomo never accepted that Christian shit. They got motherfuckers in Kenya talking that Christian shit. Jomo never believed in that shit. Ever. Everybody took on all them wives. I think his last wife was like a 17-year-old kid and a white woman. They always gotta have a white. whenever they got one of these niggas as a fake president, they always got to give him a white woman as a spy. He had a white wife spy, like the rest of these morons in West Africa do.
It is insane.
What was his name? Oh, yeah, go first. I want you to look at what was the name of his white wife, who was definitely a British spy, his handler. Listen, nigga, this is what you're gonna do. This is what the government of Britain want you to do. Yeah, what was the name of Jomo's white wife's name?
It's called Edna Grace Clark.
Edna. Edna was definitely a goddamn MI6 spy, and also his handler. She was definitely his handler. Same way you find with the moron in Gabon, the other moron in Ivory Coast, same moron over in Guinea, the same shit. Every time.
So he adds that Kenyatta writes Murubi told the three that his hands were tied as he had committed himself to the white settlers, that all land in the country would change hands only on a willing seller, willing buyer basis.
How could they buy? How could they buy back the land that was stolen from them? Now that the Kenyans were poor, I'm gonna buy back the land that's now worth millions of dollars that was stolen from me and my family. What are you talking about? That's always a con game scam. I got the same thing they say in South Africa. You're not gonna get the land unless you pay us. You stole the land from me. Yeah, that's so what? You're gonna pay me millions of dollars though. The same thing in Zimbabwe.
White people got to go. And this is what I was saying, as much as we see people demonstrating about these puppets, we have to focus also on the bigger puppet who is controlling Africa. And it's the white people. And we have to start calling out these motherfuckers, and pardon my French, man. This is making me angry. You know that someone had to sell 10 million acres of land for a piece of land.
I told you how stupid they were coming out of Colombia.
Man. I mean, this is just so crazy. Anyway, let me finish up. Another entry in Murumbi's notes just before he resigned as vice president in 1966 expresses disappointment that President Kenyatta had no political will to direct the Settlers Transfer Fund to benefit millions of landless Africans, as he had been stated in the country.
And that's what they fought for. That's what the Mama Uprising was, to get the land back, Joby. He betrayed everything that the goddamn revolution was about. To free them from white people and to get the goddamn land back that was stolen.
Exactly.
He betrayed that.
And what has been happening, which you can see, of course, happening today, they are adding that the Settler Transfer Fund scheme has been hijacked by a few African elites who are loaning themselves the reparations money meant for the landless and acquiring huge tracts of land at the expense of the majority of those who are poor. So it is crazy, man, because despite all the land still lost, the money, we still see our old Mau Mau fighters who are still there, and those who are affected during the colonial time.
Still homeless, still haven't got no land, they still never got their due, because all these puppets were put in, as you see in that picture. All these wicked ass from Uhuru to Moi, and then the baby Uhuru, this corrupt ass nigga stole so much money out of Kenya. It's crazy. And that audit has got to be done. And Uhuru's got to go to prison. Whole family's corrupt, was giving money. They were broken poor. How the fuck the family now rich? Because they giving a house and giving land with Jomo corrupt ass. That's why that audit has got to be done. And the whole goddamn fucking Kenyatta family's got to be locked the fuck up. The whole family is thieves. See, now you're going to go to the creating of the country. Now we're going to get real. Because when that happens, who stole all this money? You'll find all these damn bank accounts all outside the country with the Kenyatta's name on it. They didn't ever make shit. They never build shit. They never invent shit. So how did Kenyatta and them get wealthy? All that shit was given to them by the colonial master. That's how. And they got their library and they think of why.
And this is why sometimes go back to Simba saying history doesn't matter. History does matter, because if you don't know
exactly
nation, you don't understand where the anger of most African people, where it comes from when they fight or talk about what is happening in Africa. This should make you angry seeing that someone just accepted a library and a glass of wine. Well, you could have done that yourself. Imagine. You could have done that yourself.
Exactly, Joby. You got control of the country now. You got control of the wealth of the country. You can build anything you want to build on all the land that you're supposed to take back for the people that fought for that land.
Well, if I was Kenyatta, this is what my voice is disappearing. This is what I would have done, right? I would have accepted, because that is what the white man, we saw the interest of the white man was, number one, of course, the land. That is what they focused on. The wealth of the countries, the continent, which is the land itself. So after signing the deal, what I'll do, because it's my land, okay? I might have signed the deal, but I still make a decision because I originate here and I have the backup of the people. I don't care what you say.
You sure would. Yeah, you had the backup of the people, Joe, who actually fought a war. So there's nothing they can do. You can double cross. Say, I'm throwing this goddamn deal. Now I'm president. I'm throwing this deal in the trash.
Exactly. That is what we should have done. Sign the deal, make the white man leave, because that's what he wants, right? Give him his interest. But at the end of the day, no, this is yours. Without this fake paper or with the fake paper, it is your land, okay? And nobody can take that away from you. And mind you, you're taking people's land, so that's why they're sweating blood and tears to fight and stand for it. So you have the backup of the people. I would have signed it. White man leaves, and I go tell my mama people, hey, yo, I know I did this, okay? And I had to do what I had to do. Because this man, if I don't do this, this what is going to happen. That includes life. So now, because he has left, we're gonna do everything possible.
We want to do
recruit men, because that's what they went doing. Recruit men, those who are going to still fight for our country. But at the end of the day, as much as I've been chosen the leader, I'm being chosen. I want you guys to let me know.
You would have been honest.
Yeah, are you okay me leading? Or if not, I can step down. We can choose someone else who's going to be bold enough not to accept this white man's term.
Yeah, you would have been honest. See, you're not dealing with honest men. See, you would have been honest, Joe. You're not dealing with honest people. They were corrupt people. Remember, that's why they were picking between four. Which one they were going to see who was going to do their business. We're going to be the most corrupt. And so they end up with Jomo.
Yeah, this makes a whole lot of sense why Tom Mboya was killed. That is because we're not taught about the history of Tom Mboya a lot. And I was sharing his video last week when he was talking about how Africa leadership should be focused. First, number one, based on the African values, culture, traditions.
Exactly.
Jomo Kenyatta never followed all of that.
He never cared about none of that. I got my wine in my library, Joey. Fuck you.
Oh, goddamn. Man, it should have been knocked on the head, goddamn it. If they really trust me, but we have the Kenyatta right now. We have Uhuru Kenyatta himself, so we can still actually make it happen.
Yeah. Once you get an audit, once you guys put the audit, Kenyatta's probably gonna sneak. Who's gonna sneak out the country? Once y'all get the audit, they're gonna see. Oh yeah, can you imagine all the shit? All the stealing they done?
A lot.
You got the people, and that comes out, people gonna go crazy. They're gonna say, freeze those bank accounts in fucking the Cayman Islands. Remember, his bank accounts in Cayman where Samuel ass is at right now. They're in the Cayman Islands. Freeze them bank accounts. That money belongs to the Kenyans. Freeze them accounts and send that money back.
Well, I believe, and I hope I was telling my Boda guy this morning when I was coming. He was asking me, do you think actually we gotta really be able to push through revolution? I was like, It may not happen right now, but I do believe it's gonna happen. I don't want to get into the details.
It's happening right now. Right? You guys are living it in real time. It actually is happening in real time, because it can't go back the way it was, because too many Kenyans are up. Awake. It's too many of you now. Too many.
They're waking up the rest of the African people. I was saying the fact that entertainment-wise, Kenya, Nigeria, if you try to look at most of the artists, they come here to Kenya. They come here to Kenya to, of course, promote themselves. And we've seen the love that Kenya shows to artists, whether from whatever country. So it's gonna be. That's why the attention was easily, spread, or whatever was happening in the country was easy to spread, because we have so many other countries looking also at us, not just in the terms of revolution, but in terms of so many, especially entertainment wise. Because I think
They don't give a shit about entertainment.
no,
What
it's not. I'm just
they're
trying to
looking
say,
at Kenya because they're looking at Kenya because they're proud
you
of
didn't
you.
get me.
They're looking
You
at
didn't get
Kenya
me.
as the
You
giant.
didn't get
They're
me. You
looking
didn't
at
get
Kenya
me.
as the fighters and the wars they want to be.
It's okay,
Fuck
but you
this.
didn't get me why we had that fast attention being pulled, kids. Because the reason why we can see Nigerians acting, I wanna give that was last year. We had so many artists, and you guys can agree to
Okay.
disagree on TikTok. We had so many artists from Nigeria who held sold out shows. You've said this actually yourself. I wanna use your own terms. Burna
Yeah,
Boy,
they can make money. Yeah, they can make better money in Kenya than they can in Nigeria. True. But what's
so
that got to
that's
do with
why
revolution?
that
Go
love that we show other people is the same love
ahead.
we get from the rest of the world with everything we're doing. You know,
They get
that's what
they get love from you because they see you standing up, and now they admire you because they want to be what you are now. They respect and love you because of what you're doing, not because
it's
of some music shit. They
it's
they they.
okay.
they
You didn't get you're not getting my point, but it's fine.
all
I
right,
can.
Joby. I'm not getting it, Joby. Then
It's the same thing, but it's so many reasons why Kenya would get so much support right now from the rest of the world. That's what I'm just trying to say. Apart from, of course, us doing correct, which is what the rest of the world wants to do, and of course, we are kind of motivating them. Still, we've
yeah,
done.
you're showing them not to be afraid. Africans have always been Africans have always been afraid. You've been an oppressive system, taught fear, religion of fear, not taught. That the Kenyans probably said, fuck that. I love that girl on the Twitter space telling Ruto, fuck you. None of that His Excellency shit. You've been taught to be respectful, love people, treat you like shit. Kenyans have broke that. They told his ass, fuck you, you're a corrupt bastard, fuck your children, fuck your this. I'm like, goddamn, hell yeah. They're taking back because the African Kenyans are showing you, you need to grow up and be an adult. You don't bow down to people that treat you like shit. You be an adult, you take back power because power is in the people. You're the majority, not these corrupt bastards. Once you lose your fear, they lose their power. And you're
Period.
taking back power. You didn't ask them, hey, Ruto, can I have power? You said, fuck that. We're taking power. Because power's not given, it's taken. And that's what the
Period.
Kenya. And so when the other Africans like, God damn, what's happening in Kenya? Shit, what? They can do that?
It
So they're
is
like, wow.
It is amazing to still see it because yesterday, despite
It is.
everything people went ahead, till late night, stood outside the clubs, partying, having fun, chanting "Ruto must go," and people are like, "This is so fun because there's no police here to disturb us, and we're just doing our own shit. So we can party till morning. Come on,
Now because
you know."
the police realized you had a tipping point that it will not change because now the common citizen knows they are the power. To use everybody scared because once you understand uniting and throw down that goofy tribal shit, see, now you know, the Kenyans know now, their unity is what I've been saying forever. Africans, your unity is your power. Your unity. So when Kenyans, the youth understood that, and why you hear the MP said these youth are not worried about no tribal, nothing. They're unified. That's right. That's why you got what? Power. The unity. Once you see that, like, oh shit, it's real. That's right. Your unity is your power.
It is
And
real. But
hey,
I've taken so much time of your turn right, and I'm always the
I
one
know.
rushing out of time, man.
Every time you get you a cottage with a library and some wine, you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
The Kenyatta way, sit down
All
and
right. with your
let
with your wife with your white woman who's definitely a goddamn spy.
talking to you, baby. I love your shit. Come on. Mzale says Jomo Kenyatta was the pioneer of Akina Otero Osama. I tell you, collaborator with the enemy. I tell you
He
so.
was. I'm
Mzale says,
glad. I'm glad you knew that, Gonzalez. Most Kenyans don't know that. They don't know he was a traitor. Shout out to you, Gonzalez.
Say na huyo mzungu anaongea kuwa na ukweli ama ni AI. Keith is not a mzungu. I don't know why most people confuse Keith being a white man.
I'm an Nzungu, you no good bastard. I'm an Nzungu.
He's not a white man. He's not a white man. He's a black American man.
I had to tell my parents, I had to tell my two African parents that they had an Mzungu kid. They'd be amazed. hey, my birth certificate says Negro, but I'm gonna tell the people at the hospital, you made a mistake. I'm a Mzungu. God damn it. They told me.
Shout out to everyone live with us on Instagram. Shout out to Keith Williams who was saying William Ruto is the equivalent of Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson as the black.
Yes, he is. I'm a black American.
African and the US bootlicking is global.
Yeah, it is. Of course, it's a white supremacist thing. It's global. It's a global bootlicking.
And shout out to Ivan Fire.
Tell Gonzalez, I'm gonna see if they can change my birth certificate from Negro to Mzungu.
That's what he's saying. But shout out to Playboy, Karibu Sana, and also Kwaheri. Thank you so much, everyone who has been with us right here.
Much love, family. Much love.
Yeah, to the pending conversation, we shall continue tonight. And have yourselves a great day. And
everybody should get themselves a spy white woman, a glass of your favorite wine, and a library.
Gonzalez, he says the class was fire, letter exam, Sasa. I'll bring the exams. Come on. I'll bring the exams. I see you've taken notes. I'll bring you the exams and I hope you pass the test. But much love, family.
What happened to the other guy? He left again. What was his name?
Henry. Yeah, he left.
He left again.
He left. He left. Thank you so much, everyone who has been here with us. This has been an amazing show. Hope you guys have enjoyed as well. And to those who shall be watching this on a replay, hope you guys get to also enjoy. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. Shout out to YouTube for always deducting our numbers. Kids show.
Always. Did you see that? I'm glad you noticed that. Did you know? I'm glad you seen that because our last show I looked at it had like 200 damn views, and now I got like 80 something views on that bitch. But Africa Today show, that's what they do. That's funny. Look at it shows 0. I don't know how you get views in reverse. You know why? Because we're over the target, telling the truth, and so it's called shadow banning. I said that still had 200 views. I went back the next day, now it's got 82. How you get views in reverse? But they always do it.
Thank you so much once again. Have yourselves a beautiful day. I wind up with this song I started with. Anguka Nayo. Come on.
This is to the dead Jomo Kenyatta. I got my wine and I got my library.
Anguka Nayo. Much love.
Oh, your dad like Shamani? Shamani was jamming this morning. I was surprised Shamani can still dance. Shit, with all that weight gain.
Come on.
Shamani can still jam. Shit, go ahead, girl.
Come on.